we don't have every time to burden Kenyans, poor Kenyans who use public service vehicles, to pay, you know, for people to sit in big offices and misappropriate the funds. We know what happens in City Hall. We don't want to increase the wallet for them to keep chewing this money left, right, and center. So we are going to ask Kenyans to stand with us on this. We have sounded an alarm. This is the best weapon for us to say we are not going to pay. Will they come and enter in our pockets? They won't. So, well, it is a shrewd way of dealing with things, but at times it forces us to do the same, just to save Kenyans, or Nairobians in this particular case. But in case of anything, we'll go to court. We are trying, we sit with Mukabana in the National Road Safety Council, and we are trying to come up with a system that is going to assist Kenyans to leave their vehicles back home and get reliable services on PSV to their places of work and back home. If we look at space, a Matatu does not occupy an area for 8 hours or 12 hours. Matatus are always moving. If you look at an area, for instance, like Latema Road, it's in an area where you cannot park more than 100 vehicles, and over 500 Matatus use as a facility. Is that space enough to pay the amounts that are being demanded? Matatus are always moving. The buses within the Matatu sector are always moving. So in any case, we don't put our vehicles there for 10 or 12 hours. No. They just use the terminal and move away. Mudhurwa is a slaughterhouse for vehicles. Vehicles go there and they come out going to the garage. It's very costly to maintain a vehicle in Mudhurwa. The terminal was neglected. It was put up and neglected. People were given directives to go there. Their investment went into, waste. And yet the council is not addressing those problems faced by Mudhurwa. They cannot make it professional. It was just built and left for the Matatu owners to do their work, and no improvements at all. Look at the railways. It's not a termini. We don't have terminis in this city. What we have is alleys and street converted to termini.
Ours, I think, is to echo what the Matatu chairman has said in regard to parking charges that have been imposed by the City Council of Nairobi. We do so because we feel there were no adequate consultations in terms of raising fees as required by the Local Transport Act. We also do so because we feel parking charges are charges that are part of the economic instruments that are used to regulate congestion or traffic management in the city. In this case, we are not seeing the parking charges as a way of regulating congestion, but a way of earning revenue or extra revenue for the City Council. We believe such kind of charges are no longer feasible and should be abolished. Public transport is never charged for usage of the city, because in the first place, public transport is the responsibility of our City Council. So we are only doing this as private investors on behalf of the City Council. That is how the principles of transport work anywhere in the world. Most of our commuters don't have ability to pay. So if you increase the cost of doing business for a Matatu or a bus, what people do is to resort to walking. I think that is not fair.